Hello, my friends, hello, and welcome once again to stately Vaughan Manor. And it's another thrill-packed episode from here at the Manor. Man, full of action around here. So, another video about some plans I've got for a certain project. Now, I don't know if you saw the other day, but I made a video called, what was it called? What did I call this video? Can I read all the science fiction I own before I die? I think that was it. If you haven't seen it, I will link it down below just in case you're interested. Because I have a lot of vintage science fiction. I mean, a lot. Like boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of it. All down below in the vault of ancient science fiction. And I buy all this stuff with the intention of reading it all, you know. But the lady of the manor did point out, she said, you know, there's no way you're going to read all this stuff before you die. There's no way you're going to read all of that. And so I decided, you know, I'm going to try. I'm going to give it my best shot. And I started to think about how I would go about doing that, knowing that my plans, my reading plans, tend to go awry. As an example, for this year, I was planning on reading a bunch of mammoth books. I was going to read a bunch of big books. That was my main plan for 2022. I made videos on it. I had a little plan. But then that plan went awry because I wasn't expecting all of these reading events to pop up and for me to be invited to join them. Like the first one that I joined up with was February Fantasy Stories. I thought, okay, I could lose 1 month. But then there was Horror Mayhem, which was the horror event in May. And then I came up with June on the Range. And then there's Garb August, which I'm involved in now. And then in September, there's another reading event about private detectives, Dick Timber, which I was invited to be a part of. I didn't have any of those in my plans. I wasn't expecting any of that when I had originally made my 2022 plans. So that completely demolished all the plans I had. And then, you know, I made some final plans for the rest of this year, and those were demolished also because of the private detectives thing and this. So, you know, me making plans hasn't really worked out all that well. But this is a project I want to get done. Much like the Stephen King Read Every Book by Stephen King project, which is like the one project that I took on that I feel like I can continue with without issues. This is another one that I really, really want to do. Actually, I want to finish Necroscope too, but that's a whole other thing. Anyway, this is a project I really, really want to put a lot of my attention to anyway. So like I said, I have a lot of these tubs full of vintage science fiction. I brought some down. I will give you an example just of what's in here. I don't know what's in this particular box. Okay, so in this particular box, just as an example, we've got some ace doubles. Got the Dark Destroyers here by Manly Wade Wellman. On the other side, it's got Bow Down to Null by Brian W. Aldiss. I just got this, last year? Yeah, I just got this one last year. And there's some other stuff. There's Arthur Merritt's Seven Footprints to Satan. I've never read this. I want to read that. The Legion of Space. I did read this by Jack Williamson, but it was years and years ago. So I want to read it again. Same with City at World's End by Edmund Hamilton. It's been a few years since I've read that. So I want to read all of this stuff. Can I do it though? Right? I have to figure out a way to do it. So I started thinking about this stuff. And I'm going to make this a priority. Now, some of the stuff in these boxes I have read before, but I figure a good ground rule would be if I haven't read it in 5 years, I'll read it again. Unless it's really good, and then I'll read it again anyway. You know, I'm sure to have a copy or two of City in here by Clifford D. Smack, which is my favorite science fiction novel. I'm definitely going to read that again, even though I just read it a couple years ago. I don't care. I'll read it again. I'm going to go through all of the boxes I have one at a time. This is going to take a long time because even though these boxes aren't huge, there are a lot of books in here in each one of these boxes. And so I'm going to start next month. And I'm going to try every month to get as many books in of these as I can. I'm not sure how many I'll be able to, but I'm determined to get as many in as I possibly can, while still taking part in the reading events I'm obligated to take part in, or any other thing I just want to do for fun. And so I'm going to try to do this every month, get as many of this stuff read as I can, and just, you know, see how much I can read read before I die, you know. And so next month, for Dictember, unlike Garbogust, where it's just all Garbogust all the time, I'm only going to read 4 books for the detective thing for September, probably. Maybe I'll read more, but probably just that. Because it's still Book Trek, which is another thing I've got going on. I'm reading a Book Trek book right now, actually. And that'll still be going on next month. That's a 2-month thing. And then I'm going to read as many of these as I can. It all depends on how much reading time I have. And then the month after that, what is that, October? Yeah, October. That's coming around. I had planned on reading a particular book for October, but now Varney the Vampire, the book that I was going to start at the end of Garbogust, has got moved to October because I can't possibly fit it in with the detectives thing going on. See the stuff that happens because of BookTube? It's all BookTube's fault, not mine. So, yeah, I've got to move that. And so then, if I have any room... Varney the Vampire is really long. And so I don't know how much time I'll have around Varney in October, but whatever time I have that's extra is going to Stephen King and this stuff. The world's best science fiction, for example. Because I've got a ton of this, and I figure what I'll do with these is I'll read them and let me know if this is a good idea or if it's nonsense. Just let me know. I never know what I'm doing. So I figure I'll read these and I will just, as I go through them, I will just give I'll do one of those shorts, those short little videos like I'm doing for Garbogust. I'll do those for these. And then I'll just talk about them at my end of the month wrap up. I figure that's what I'll do so I can keep you, you know, informed of my progress. Just so you know that there is some progress going on. And then next year's, I'm going to really concentrate on this stuff. I'll have some reading events that I'll be taking part in. But on top of that, I probably won't go, I probably won't go as hard on those as I'm going on this month for Garbogust. Also for next month, I've got the Astounding science fiction project, which I am doing next year. Also for next year, I've got the Astounding science fiction project, which I talked about in a video. And I'm being joined by this, by Sean D. Standfast, where we're reading an issue of Astounding every month from 1951. What are you growling about over there? What? You don't think I could do it? You don't think I could do it, do you? You know, she has no faith in me, Rhonda. You have no faith in me, Rhonda. You should believe in me. I feed you every day. I never forget, not once. Not once have I forgotten. I walk you all the time. Still, she behaves in this way. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. So I've got lots of science fiction in my future. Why do you behave so badly? Why do you behave so badly? I'm so nice to you all the time, and you're very badly behaved. So will you just not be terrible? Just don't be terrible for a few minutes. Let me finish up this video. Okay, don't be terrible. Don't be terrible. Where was I? Oh, yes. Getting hair on my vest. That's where I was. So, yeah, that's my plan for the science fiction project. If you have any ideas to how, as to how to make this better, let me know, because I'm kind of winging it. What? Like I said, doesn't believe me at all. So anyway, this is a very rambly plans video. That's okay, I can be rambly sometimes if I want to. Okay guys, that's all I've got to say for myself for today. Catch me tomorrow. What is tomorrow? Wednesday, Epic Comic Book Wednesday. This was supposed to be Tag Tuesday. Boy, I sure screwed that up. I'll have a tag later on this week. It'll be thrilling, as well as the Robert E. Howard Show. That'll be thrilling too. So much thrilling stuff coming to you here from this channel. It's unbelievable how thrilling it is. And just to give an idea of how much is in this box, or this is just an example. This isn't the box that I'm reading next, but got all these in there. Got this stuff in here. So even though it's a small box, there's a fair amount of books in here. And each one of the boxes that I have, or tubs, or whatever you want to call them. Well, look, there's Robert E. Howard in here too. These boxes are so random. It's an old edition of Brand McMorran, Banned Books one. But they are very random. I know I have a bunch of different copies of Red Planet. I know it. I bet every box has a copy of Red Planet. Ooh, look at this. It's Moray Leinster, the Planet Explorer. I like Moray Leinster. He's the dean of science fiction, don't you know? Outlaws of the Moon by Edmund. This is a Captain Future novel. Boy, you'd never be able to tell from that cover that it was Captain Future. There's a bunch of cool stuff in here. Anyway, gives you an idea of just how much stuff is in here. Oh, look at that. Clark Ashton Smith, Out of Time and Space. I don't think I've got volume 1. Man, now I'm going to have to hunt that down. Is this... This is the Panther edition. Oh, look, it's Lord Dunsany. See, I just want to read this stuff right now. I just want to sit here and read this stuff now. Oh, well. I will in the near future. Okay, we talked about this, all right? I can't finish all the science fiction. I can't read all the science fiction that I've got if you keep buying science fiction. What is this? What is this? This wasn't around before. You bought this, didn't you? You bought this while I wasn't looking. Listen, here's the plan. You can fill up one more box. One more box. One. And then we're done. Okay? And then that's it. So choose wisely. Choose wisely, my friend. One more box.